feel as if I should be part of the Pitchford inquiry as well. But for some unknown reason, they're not allowing me to be a co-participant in it. Now, my brother was murdered by the Humberside police in 1998. Police officer had come to my door, where I was living at the time, told me that Christopher had died in police custody. And I then made a decision to go to Hull and find out what was going on. And I approached the police, you know, at the police station, and it just didn't, it didn't feel right. I didn't feel right, you know, the way it treated me like a victim, or, you know, it just didn't feel right. And they'd left me sat in the foyer for about an hour, and then eventually this detective come through and he showed me through to the back of the police station. I'd asked him what had happened to Christopher, and he was just sat in a chair with his knee up and chewing gum, and he seemed totally disinterested in, do you know what I mean, what had gone on. And he just basically said, your brother had been assaulted outside of a nightclub. Due to his injuries, he died. So, and I asked him, I said, well, how many police officers was involved, and you know, where was Christopher at the time and whatsoever. So he picked up the phone and he said, and he just listened, and then next minute he said to me, I've just asked them. I said, well, I never saw you ask them anything, you know. So, but something had come over his radio at that time about, you know, somebody being murdered. So I thought, well, you know, there's my opportunity to go. I was absolutely petrified, to tell you the truth. You know that, you know, police stations are quite intimidating buildings, you know, especially when you not really have that much involvement in them and whatsoever. I mean, we're brought up to fear the police type of thing. So, but then I walked out, and then I'd gone to the Hull Daily Mail, and I picked up like all the newspapers for the week that Christopher died, and he was on the front page every day. And at the bottom it kept saying, and we've got a man in connection with his death. Yeah, and some of them, you know, some of the newspapers said, oh, murder inquiry. And I was thinking, a murder inquiry? They just told me that he died in police custody and he'd collapsed, sat next to a police officer. So I decided to go to the hospital, because what had happened, Christopher had been punched that night at the nightclub. It fell, bumped his head, ambulance came, took him to the hospital as a complainant. And when I got up to the hospital, the top consultant had said to me, he came to see me, and I thought, you know, that's really good of him to come out like that. And he just sat there, and he was, you know, he was quite relaxed, and I felt relaxed in his company. And he just said, this is now a murder inquiry. We are bound by law not to say anything. I thought, murder inquiry? They didn't tell me that when I went down to, you know, the police station. So at this time they didn't know the cause of Christopher's death. You know, whenever there's a death in custody, all of a sudden medical science goes out the window, and they really don't know that person's died. And so what I did then was, I thought, well, next, you know, I went back to my brother's house, went to bed and whatsoever. Got up the next morning and thought, right, I'm going to get in touch with the coroner's office, find out what's happened to my brother, how he's died, and this. So it was at that point that the coroner's you know, his junior had said to me, you know, you might be better getting a solicitor. And I thought that was kind of strange as well. So, but I wanted to pursue this. So the next day I went back to the police station, and at this time there was this particular police officer, you know, told me to go through the back and whatsoever. And he sat there, and I just said to him, look, I said, I've got outside organisations willing to support the family on this, because I was absolutely petrified, yeah. And he reeled his chair over to me, right up to my face, and he went, we don't deal with outside organisations, we deal with the family. So I went, whoa, I went, listen, I said, I'm Christopher's sister, I don't need to be arguing with you and that lot. So I just got up and left. When I got outside I started crying, because I really didn't know what to do, and I was scared. And then I calmed down a bit, and I started walking into town, and I saw Waterstone's bookshop, and I went in there. And just as I picked up a book, and I just happened to look out at the door, and there was a plainclothes police officer. He was in navy blue overalls and like a blue baghouse jacket. And the reason I knew he was a copper is because he had a notebook with a badge on. I know, I shouldn't laugh, but... And I went, and when I get scared, I get really big mouth, and I went, oh my God! I went, my brother's died in police custody. I said, the police are following me. So then everybody went to the door and started following him, type of thing. So, but he went across the road, and he stood there for a bit. And then, you know, the people who said, in the shop said, Janet, you can go now, he's gone. So I thought, oh no, I'm going to have to get a solicitor. I'm really scared, like. So I went to a solicitor's and I saw a guy that had walked through the back of the police station while I was sat waiting. I thought, oh, shit, you know. So I went into a solicitor's and I said, look, I said, the police are following me. I said, it's like the Gestapo. I said, they're following me. So, and I showed her the newspaper clipping. She went, they've done it, haven't they? I said, yeah, they've done it. I said, they're following me. So she let me out the back door, made me an appointment to come back, let me out the back door, and then I thought, I better get in a taxi, and I jumped in the taxi, and I was still panicking. I went to the guy, I said, the police are following me, get out! You know. But then I got into another taxi, and I thought, don't say anything, you know. Got to the top of my brother's road, and I saw a little second-hand shop, and I thought, oh, I'm just going to bob in here, and came out again. Walking up the road, and there was a patrol car facing me. I thought, oh shit, you know, I was really scared. So I bent down in my bag and I just quickly, you know, ripped the number of the registration and the lapel of the copper. Went back into my brother's house, and I didn't want to say anything to him because he'd already been intimidated by the police. 8 police officers had got him into a back of the van after his brother had been murdered by them. Yeah, and then told him he was going where his brother had gone, and that his brother deserved it.
Oh my God.
So I didn't say anything more to him and that, and so, you know, and I had to go home. I had to go home and look after my kids and whatsoever. And I was that scared. I thought, you know, at the time I was working, and I thought, I'm going to have to go and see somebody because I'm scared. I think I'm being followed all over the place. So I went into a solicitor's and I told them about it, you know, just so somebody knew. Because I'm thinking to myself, they kill my brother, what are they going to do to me? Yeah, that type of thing. And then it just kind of went on from then. What had happened, I got introduced to the IPCC and that lot. But little did I know, they had the boy that punched him in a bail hostel for a month, and they were going to charge him with Christopher's murder, when all the time they had the video of Christopher dying at the feet. They were going to charge. If I'd have not walked into the police station, that guy would have been done with murder. So so then what had happened after that, we'd met up with the IPCC and whatsoever, and I told them, I said, look, I said, the police have been following me, they're on my phone. You can hear when they're on your phone. Yeah. You can hear all these clicks. You know what I mean? I was leaving a message for somebody on my, you know, on their phone, and it was ending up on my messages. And I'm thinking, you know, there's something going wrong here, like. And there was one particular time, you know, this had been going on for at least, 4 years, I would say. And what had happened, we'd had a couple of protests outside the police station and things like that, do you know what I mean? But there were no hassle. You know, the first time there was about 150 people, and we were angry, of course. You know, we're not we're there to have a cup of tea and a carry on. We're there to let them know that we want to know what's happened to my brother. So, but there were no trouble. You know, nobody got arrested or anything like that. So what had happened is, little did I know, at the inquest, there was supposed to have been spying on me. Now, when I told them in 1998, or when I told the IPCC when they did an investigation in 2006 into Christopher's death, they turned around and said there's no evidence. They were trying to make out as if I were paranoid. And you can't say anything to anybody because, you know, if you're just meeting, you know, just ordinary people outside and you try and say something to them, they'll just think that you're paranoid. Or you're just, you know, you're just going on. Not that I've not had people saying to me, just be careful what you're doing, do you know what I mean? Because they'll come and get you as well. All that was going on in my head at that particular time because this was all new to me. So, and then it came out in 2011 when it came out about the Lawrences, Theresa May told every police force to go and have a look, see if there was any evidence on the Lawrences, you know, being spied on. And then I found out that I'd been spied on. It came out, you know, and I thought, well, all that time when I knew that we're being spied on, and turned around and said that I hadn't, and it's come out, yeah? I remember at the trial, we went to the trial in 2002, sorry. There was a police officer in the court foyer, and it's illegal to take photographs, photographing everybody going in. Next minute, there's a picture of me and my supporters in the IPCC yearly annual. Do you know what I mean? So, this had been going on for a long time. So this investigation then that went on afterwards went on for 2.5 years. 2.5 years. It's only just been completed. What had happened? They said that at the inquest they had a viable reason to spy on me, or no, the people outside the court, you know, interfere with public order and whatsoever. 60 police officers, and I mean detective constables. I don't mean just PCs or anything like that. Now, on that first day, and well, every day, there was uniformed police officers out there anyhow. So why did they all of a sudden need about, you know, 20 police officers undercover to spy on me? You know, they'd even gone way beyond, you know, like the 9 till 5, and did from 5 o'clock at night till, do you know what I mean, 6 o'clock in the morning. So this investigation's gone on. I mean, the report is there. At this present moment in time, I'm a bit dubious about saying too much about what's in it, because we're trying to appeal. I mean, we're not going to win the appeal with the CPS, not at all. Because what had happened, it had come out because a detective, a female, had come up and said that she was part of this massive big operation against me. And it appears that she's given them more information than they're willing to disclose to me. They have gone way beyond what they should have done. They tried to say that it was, you know, there was watching everybody else, you know, outside, so there was no public order. But they was specifically following me all over the place. Me and, well, anybody that were black, basically. You know, one of them reported and said, it was a sunny day. I remember it was a sunny day and whatsoever. And then the next minute they says, oh, there was a black guy walking about with glasses on and he just weren't acting right. So I think, it was just a case of being guilty of being black and walking down the street type of thing, you know. But, I mean, how can 20 police officers surveillance you in just a small area like that? You know, I know it's been going on a long time. I want to be part of this Pitchford inquiry. Do you know what I mean? There's evidence there, and it's about time it come out. They know exactly what's been going on here. And I believe it's going to be another whitewash. And this is why they're picking and choosing who they're going to let in the inquiry and whatsoever. This is basically what they want to learn, lessons to make sure they don't get caught again. That's what it is.